is up, round 4. Welcome back to Who's You Talking To with Georgie Treble. So you got your first champion, schoolboy champion, Wes Fleming. Well done, Wes. You drove home with no window screen, thanks to the unsporting people, will we say. But look, go back to the gym, and the gym starts to flourish. What happened then?
Yeah, Nick McDonald come in, Mikey Kelly come in, Davy Clark come in, and we had, if I left anyone else out, I'm sorry, but we had a rake of,
John Cooney.
John Cooney, sorry, yeah, keep on reeling them on. We had 17 boxers there. We put a show on. Yeah. We had 17. From one boxer, we ended up with 17 on the one night on one bill.
Okay, so this is all of a sudden now from 17 years you say there was another champion, is that?
17 years, Wes was the first schoolboy champion to come up the Whittle.
Okay, so then, if I don't mind saying, the most successful schoolboy who got a Guinness Book of Records, was it?
Nick McDonald, he won the schools, he was next, he won the schools, he won the NABC, junior ABAs and senior ABAs with 10 national championships.
Right, I'm going to pick your brains, so Nick McDonald, right, he's coming to the gym. Has he come in as a novice?
He come in as a little kid off the street. He was 9 when he first come in. But, the way he trained was unbelievable. He was in the cross country for the school. He was first in the gym and last out the gym, And
what was the basics you taught him where did you start?
Nick was fast, very, 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 very quick. He had, like I say, he had good sparring partners with Davy Clark, was 9-year-old, Mikey Kelly as well. Mikey was very, very
He's
tough.
A bang from the end.
Yeah, he was a very, very tough
he's a bodyguard. He's a bodyguard.
He was Mikey was a very, very tough kid, and he wasn't scared of anyone to get in the ring. I took him to many bouts, Mikey Kelly, quarterfinals. And matter of fact, the lad that he boxed went to the Olympic Games.
Okay.
In the championships, Mikey Kelly,
Yeah, so he's boxing Olympians, yeah?
Oh, Mikey was, yeah.
So the gym's buzzing, so talk about, like say with Nicky, you're getting him up. Can you remember Nicky's first contest?
Yeah, Nicky contest, his very first one. He went out and there was Wes, Nick, and we boxed a kid from Sefton, and there was another boxer as well, and I took 3 boxers up to Sefton, and the 3 of them all stopped him in the first round. The first contest.
So yeah. The West Whittle lads.
Yeah.
Stop the lads in the
first round.
So this is obviously they're listening to you. You're in the corner, and you think each box. I thought looking at Mike Kelly was more of a fighter, wasn't he?
Mikey was a fighter. Wes was a fighter.
So what do you tell these fighters? What's your tactic?
In the training, you can't train every boxer the same. You've got to adapt to their strength. Nick had the hand speed, he had the power, he had the movements. Mikey Kelly was a very, very aggressive boxer. Davy Clark was a nice silky boxer. Wes was strong, very, very strong. Kev Ward was a lovely silky boxer who could move his feet and box. So we had all kinds of different boxers in the gym. We had John Cooney that was very, very old school, that I never trained as a kid, only as a senior.
Okay.
John, and he drifted in and out of the gym, but he boxed, but he was never ever fit. He was never ever fit, John, when he boxed.
Angry hands.
Yeah, but with John, we did sit him down and say, right, come on, if we get you fit. I could see the ability in John Cooney, because I knew if I got him fit, we'd go places with him. He was boxing top lads, and he just run out of steam because he wasn't fit enough. Because of course he was a senior and drink and all that. And then we sat him down one day and we got him in the gym. We said, listen, look, I think you can achieve something, John, but we've got to get you fit.
Do you know, I remember meeting us in York Hall because I was the army coach, assistant coach. I think it was the semi-finals. The night David A got knocked out by the lad from Hull, and John was boxing on that bill. John Cooney, and all the West Borough lads come down. It was great to see us come down, and I remember John Cooney being so laid back, you know, in his boxing.
Yeah, he was. John was very, very laid back. He was a quiet lad, John. He just got on with his training. It was his drink that was his problems, and going out the weekends. That was John's biggest problem. Carl Froch boxed on that same bill. That's the same night.
Yeah.
And the lad that John beat, he went on to win them. But John had won a novice championship.
Yeah.
And he done really well to get to the quarterfinals of an ABA title, especially against the number one. He boxed the number one. We would have rather boxed him in the final. We were one fight away from boxing him in the final. But John had a big heart, and he never ever gave up. Even so, the kid was better than him. There was nothing John could do or I could do, because the kid was, you know, obviously he'd been boxing for England. He'd been boxing all around Europe, where John was just a club fighter, and we put him in the novices and he won them. So we said, right, we're putting him in the, I think he's good enough to go in the ABAs, and he went right in the ABAs after winning a novice national championship.
Big leap, it's a big leap, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, it's a massive leap, and you know, he was boxing a top lad that had been boxing international for years and went and won the ABAs. And by the way, when he went and turned pro, he boxed for the world title.
Who's this? Who's almost?
The lad that John got beat by. I can't remember his name, but Nick, he sparred Nick when he was a pro.
All right, we'll get back to that, because there's so many things, names and things I'm trying to pick your brains. So, in the gym then, Nick MacDonald, he won, is it 10? 10?
Nick MacDonald won 10 national championships. And
this is you being the coach?
Yeah, so yeah. And by the way,
10 national championships.
We should have won 11, because he beat Derry Matthews. They boxed 7 times, and he beat Derry Matthews 4. Right, but one time he broke his nose, and Derry was in the schools, and Derry was crying, and he'd been beat, and all the officials were from the Solly, and we all knew who won that day, and Nick beat him, and Derry, his nose was gone, he was crying in the corner, and he denied Nick of 11 national championships. Derry went on to win them.
I mean, and Derry's up there, you know, people might think Derry Matthews, well done, because obviously he carried on continuously with his pro.
Well, was a world champion, Derry, and a lot of ABA, a lot of ABA champions, schoolboy, junior, NEBC. It's just that him and Nick had to be in the same age and same weight.
So there's always, it was just, there could only be one. But Nicky MacDonald and as I said, the schoolboys and the nationals would always beat Derry, was that what he's saying?
Well, they box one another in the schools, and obviously, like, Derry beat him, but he never, you know what I mean?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
But, like, other than that, Nick beat him 4 times, out of 7. And at one time, his coach phoned me up and he said, look, we've got 2 national champions here. Well, we're not putting, because Nick had beat him on their club show 2 weeks before the championships, because they were tested. And at the time, Nick was the best around at the time, and he beat him. And Alan phoned me up and he said, can we drop Nick down a weight and then leave Derry at the weight, because we've got 2 national championships in the Northwest. And I said, no, I'm not taking no more weight off him. And Derry went the weight below Nick, and then couldn't make it in the quarterfinals.
Do you know what? It's just the same. It's horrible to say that, because you want both boxers to flourish, you know, and they both have capabilities.
But you know, we knew Derry was the best, and we used to go over to for me to improve Nick, we had to have better sparring and a level that he needs to be with. And Derry was Nick's sparring partner, and they brought one another on. You know, I used to see him over to Liverpool sparring a lot with Derry, and you know, they become mates, and obviously they boxed for England together.
That's tremendous. So you got England boxers now under your coaching.
Yeah.
So moving on to this. So when you took Nicky to that level of boxing for England, you were in the corner, is that right?
Yeah, I was in the corner when he boxed. He won his gold medal in the Four Nations. I was when he boxed Americans. I was in the corner for them then. They're not allowed anymore now. But I did, but you know.
It's a good method though, because you know you can trust. I mean, obviously, as a boxer, you put all your faith in the trainer as a cornerman, right? And Nicky, to have you from coming in off the street as a novice, and you're now in the corner and he's winning a gold medal in the Nations. Is it the Four Nations?
In the Four Nations, he won a gold medal.
So you're getting all, you know, what class of champions coming through.
Well,
is that the Europeans, Russians and stuff as well?
Not in that. It's just Ireland, Scotland and Wales.
Oh, sorry, yeah, okay.
And then when he upped, he did win gold medals in the Tanner tournaments. He did go to the Commonwealth Games. He had an injury in the Commonwealth Games. He was supposed to go to the Olympic Games, and he had a terrific 2 injuries. He had
what, in his hands?
In his hands and his arm. And so, like, there was a lot of injuries.
Why was that though? What did you say? Because he was punching too hard? Or what?
He was punching at more than his body weight, and of course, obviously, in one of the contests, he broke his hand, and he was supposed to go to a qualifier, and we were supposed to take him to a qualifier, and the doctor said, whatever you do, give it 10 weeks to 7 weeks to heal. And the England squad said, we want him down here because we want to qualify for Olympic Games, because, of course, if the England coaches didn't get anyone to qualify to go to the Olympic Games, they get sacked. So the idea was, we knew Mick McDonald can go to the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
But my argument was, because you just don't go to the Olympic Games, you've got to qualify. And my argument was, I don't want him to go up there, I want him to strengthen his hand. And I want him to go to the last qualifier, not to the next one. But they wanted to rush him. So they said, look, we want him up here, or basically we're dropping. So they got him up there, and I said, well, no sparring. Of course, Mick McDonald was the only one that could spar Khan and give him a hard time.
It was just Amir Khan.
Amir Khan, yeah.
Amir watching, give us some comments about Nicky McDonald.
Yeah. So if he was here, he'd tell you he was the toughest spar he ever had, a bantamweight, and of course they needed the spars for Khan because he's going to Olympic Games.
So Amir Khan's lightweight, is it?
Yeah, lightweight.
And he's boxing Nicky at bantamweight.
Where he's sparring Nicky at bantamweight.
It's a lot of difference, that, isn't it?
Yeah. You see, like Khan said to me, he never won an ABA title. And he's supposed to box a lad called Jamie Cox in the quarterfinals down south. We were there, Nick was boxing in that. And they pulled Khan out for some reason. It was stupid.
So Khan never won an ABA title?
No, Khan never won an ABA title. So he never won an ABA title, and he said to Jamie Cox, when we were all, after Nick won the gold medal in the Four Nations, and we went back to the Adelphi because that's where all the England lads used to stay, and he said to Jamie Cox, my medal for your medal, it's always an honour to win an ABA title.
I'd say so as well. Is that the amateur boxing? That's the English and the British. Was the British at the time?
Yeah.
British. Yeah, so he was the British champion. I come close. I got to the quarters twice. Glenn Catley beat me, world champion, and Jason Matthews beat me. But they're all on points. I gave them a good double. I was a contender. But George, it's so. It must. I'm just trying to get the buzz because. Just to start off coaching, obviously with your knee, and next when you're at that level now, right? You're getting a good name for yourself. Go and see Georgie Treble. Is it believe I've seen a photograph of you taking Tim Witherspoon on the pads?
Yeah, he come down to the Golden Gloves. We had Tim Witherspoon.
Yeah.
We had Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr.
Hang on, wait there. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And Tim Witherspoon, and I took him on the pads. And he was throwing shots, and I'd throw a shot at him to block, and he said, man, you're the only coach that took me on the pads in England that's ever blocked. And I said, oh, thanks. And it was great for him to a world champion, being in America, training, and he said, you're the only one that I've threw shots and I've had to defend coming back.
Beautiful. See, that's a shame. This is the pedigree, you know, and it's going on today, isn't it, with throughout?
Yeah, coaching, it's about, I feel a lot of boxers in the coaching game want to go and hit them, but they never think what's coming back at them. And that's where I get them to move their feet, to step away, not to keep their head in one position, throw across the body, don't go in a straight moving angles. You know, that's my great believer. You know, other coaches or other boxers think it's a wrong thing to do, but it's always worked for me.
So look, I mean, picking your brains, the Cubans, tell me about this point scoring system, how it affected. Well, because boxing used to be judges, wasn't it?
Yeah, it used to be a lot of aggression and body shots and whatever. And now when the computer come in, the Cubans come and train down the Golden Gloves, which was Kinland and Lagondo, and they had 7 gold medalists and world champions as well. And I went down and had a look at them training and the way the methods were and listened to them. I'm always a believer, if you listen to boxers and you go and have, why are they the best? Go and have a look, why are they the best? Let's learn off them. The Russians, strong, the Cubans had this long style, throwing hooks and long hooks, and we were stepping forward and they'd take 2 steps back and catches. And I'll have a little go at that, and I'll go back to the gym and I'll work on that. And I'm a believer. I'm nearly 60 now, 59, and I'm still learning. I've been in the demolition all my life and I'm still learning on that. And I believe as a coach, if you listen to what the boxers are telling you, I'll have a look how England international, Cubans, Russians, French, Azerbaijan's coming on. Have a look how they're boxing. I'll have a look and I'll say, yeah, I'll have a go with that, and I'll get back to the gym and I'll work on it. Boxers tell me, listen, look, George, I'm fed up, and I'll listen and I say, go and have a rest. Go and do something different. You're going stale.
Oh, go on, sorry about that.
You know,
you're going stale.
You know, I've talked to a lot of Carl Froch, and he was saying to me, you know, I'm going stale. He rides his bike. He went and seen a sports psychiatrist. He done weights. They do yoga. They do dancing. It's a change of boxing, because talking to world champions, that Anthony Joshua, people like that, I've spoke to them all, and I just listen to what they're telling me, and I take it on board, and I go back and I think, yeah, they are right. You know, I hear boxers saying, oh, I don't like going to Sheffield because they're getting paid now, big money, where
it's just the amateurs,
yeah. Years ago you used to just box for your country at the Olympic Games, you never got paid. Now they're going up there and the same thing week in, week out, and they're getting fed up and they're going stale. And so I listen to boxing and see what their body wants, and I listen to world champions, how they train, different gyms. I've done a documentary in New York in Gleason's gym. I went there and I've seen 2 different methods about, look, everyone punches with their hands but no one warms them up. Wow, yeah, I've had so many injuries with Nick, with big punches, Anthony Fowler operations, Nick operations, you know, and I'm thinking, bloody hell, they're right, you know. And so I'm a great believer in warming their hands up.
So how do you warm them up then?
Well, if you put it in rice, they have hand grips, and you tell
rice,
them...
is that like not...
Rice, it's about, you know, they had rice, and I was, what's that do? And they grab it and they're warming up, and top plates where they move and they shake to warm their hands up. They tell the boxers to get grips, and it pumps the blood around the body. If you grab it, you can see the veins.
Yeah.
And just sit there, and it builds all those muscles up in your arms and your hands, because you actually got muscles here in your hand and your wrists. Because when you wrist and you punch and there's no strength in it, it'll do that and you break. And the same as a doctor was saying, here's your knuckles, your big knuckles are here, and then you go down, and then what happened? They're hitting, and it does this.
Yeah. And
it's breaking their hands here.
It shows you. So good tip there for up and coming boxers, if you're watching Georgie Treble, make sure you warm your hands up. I use the guitar as well, you know. That's the story. Yeah. Georgie, honest to God, stand by then for part 5 and the continuation story of Georgie Treble. Tremendous, George.